folks, and welcome to a brand new season of Pinal Prep Spotlight, brought to you by 911 Air Repair, your local air conditioning expert specializing in maintenance, repair, and new installations. We are back to our regularly scheduled programming with our game of the week. We are talking Florence and Coolidge boys basketball. Now, whenever it's a rivalry game, whatever you think, just throw it out the window, and that is especially true when these two teams play against each other. It's kind of the opposite as it was last year. Last year, our higher ranked team was Florence. Coolidge was kind of the underdog. In that first meeting, they came away and upset Florence. Could this potentially happen in reverse? Coolidge being the top team, Florence the underdog? I don't know, because you never know what to expect from this really, really awesome matchup. David, what are you thinking about this game?
Well, it's an interesting concept because this, like we mentioned before, Florence was a team made it to a really deep run in the playoffs last year, but that was on the backs of a lot of talented seniors that are now gone from this team. So Florence has kind of been in a rebuilding stage, and Coolidge has kind of taken over that role of being the team to beat potentially in Pinal County, and they've done a really solid job. And it all kind of starts with their talented senior in Preston Dees. He's leading them in scoring right now with 18 points. They also have a really good, promising freshman in Turner Armstrong, who's done a really solid job for them. And of course, whenever you talk about Coolidge, you have to talk about the presence of Dave Glasgow on the sidelines. He is the guy when you think of Coolidge basketball and Pinal County basketball in general. So look for him to kind of continue to lead this team and kind of have that hard-nosed coaching style that really resonates with this team and kind of expects them to move forward with it. But Florence is no slouch of their own. Yes, they're a little bit struggling just with the new members of the team and everything, but they're still under the same coach in David Silvas, who has been a really solid coach for them all year and all since his entire tenure. I look at J.J. Gibbs as a guy that you need to keep your eye on. He's been a solid start for them, only a sophomore as well. So there's some good young pieces here that just continue to kind of usher themselves into the program. So like you mentioned, I don't know what to expect in this one, but all I know is that it's always great when Coolidge and Florence get together for a really good game, and we're going to expect the same thing when it's time.
So the thing about Florence, well, they might be an underdog this year and kind of rebuilding. I don't want to say rebuilding. I feel like they're just kind of trying to find their footing right now. Because when Florence, they're always going to be competitive. They're always going to bring their A game, and they're going to make it really difficult on opponents, and they've showed it throughout the season so far. In this game against Coolidge, hey, it's no difference. And there's that added bonus that there's the rivalry game. These guys are going to step it up big time and try to outdo each other. The key here is going to be whoever can keep their emotions in control. Going back to the last year, that second matchup between these two teams, I say second because they also played later on in the playoffs, but the second regular season matchup, it really came down to the wire, and it was all about emotions. Coolidge kind of lost their cool a little bit, which allowed Florence to go to the free throw line and kind of seal the game and get that victory. So overall, I feel like, hey, you do have a lot of different key players. For Coolidge, like David mentioned, Preston Dees, Turner Armstrong. Also got to mention Porter Dees here. Another guy who can really fill in that role in the paint. And then for Florence, it's just about, hey, who can come up with that timely shot for them? Got to mention Brody Ramirez here. He's averaging 13.4 points a game. Vinny Burdine, 10.8 points a game. Three guys over here for the Gophers scoring in double figures. I mean, overall, like I mentioned, I sound like a broken record here, but yeah, it's all about the emotions. It's an emotional game, a rivalry game, and that's going to be the key here. Who can keep their cool and everything? We're keeping this short, just our game of the week, so be sure to check out Pinal Central to read up on how this game turns out, and tune in through the rest of the season to see how our Pinal County teams do.